As the kids were growing, they needed a bit more space away from us and more storage.
I think the main key was Nikki wanted a big walking robe, a bigger walking robe. So I think that was a pushing point.
We liked the area, we loved our neighbours, it was quiet, just down near the park, so we kind of thought, we don't know what we're going to get if we move, and the financial outlay of stamp duty and things like that as well we were kind of like, we can put that into a house that we're in now.
Well, it's a pretty decent sized block out here, and obviously if we moved, we could have gone close opposite to the ocean, but the blocks are a lot smaller, so then you're already moving into a two-storey over there, so I thought, well, why don't we build and create that ourselves? So,
and then we can get exactly what we want.
The reason why we chose Jess on the Odeion team is due to the fact that we've got some friends around the corner, and they recently done some work for Jess, and they just mentioned obviously the quality of the work that he done. We obviously went over there quite a few times for dinners, and we always ask the question, who done the work? So we got a few quotes, and just like the way Jess presented himself, he also brought us to one of his job sites, which was around the corner from us, and we got to look at obviously what he'd done there, how he started it. So we had a good look at that, and we're quite comfortable with Jess, definitely. So that's one of the reasons why we went ahead with Jess.
I think as well, we just got a general good vibe from him, an honest, straight shooter. We knew we could trust him, and because we were wanting to live in the house with our children at the time, it was important for us that he was a respectful guy, that his workers kind of weren't loud and had music going and not swearing and that kind of thing. Then our kids were in the house and they were here for a long time, so that was really important as well, because it could have been a completely different experience just having those things. Like, our kids were so little really, so that was quite important too, because you don't often get that with builders.
So when the boys did leave, they weren't the top company where they would just leave their tools around or nails around or filth or dirt. There were no hazards, and that was pretty important as well, and especially when you do have young kids. So there was no loud music, like Nick mentioned earlier. There's no loud music or anything that was loud in sight. And not only that, when they would go out to the front, have their lunch, the neighbours were quite happy to go there and have a chat with them. So that they had that good neighbourhood feel about it as well.
It was all very scheduled and everything got handled. I feel like Jessie was always very level-headed, and if there's any issues or changes to the plans, it was always met with a calm demeanour. It felt like nothing was too hard, even though I was like, I don't need a door there. Actually, 2 days later, I was like, I do need a door there. Things like that was kind of like, that's fine. Either way, easy, no problem, we'll do that. Because when you're doing a build, you have sleepless nights and you're like, did I make the right choice on that? Or should I have changed that? Should I be doing this? And it was never an issue, because nothing was too hard. We have actually recommended a lot of our friends because it was just such a great experience for us. You can trust him. He's not out to rip you off. He does a great job. His quality is amazing. He's got a lot of great contacts, which I also really liked. It was all kind of managed in-house, internally, which for me, managing it all was just so good, because he could line everyone up for when he needed things to be done, and it kept the timeline ticking along without delays. So that was really important. The whole experience was excellent from the start to the finish, really. We didn't have a time where we were kind of not happy. Like, obviously living through a renovation can be stressful and it's like, can test anybody, but I actually would do it again, because it was a great experience for us.